Welcome to your energy update with the angels. I'm Devon Duerr, angel intuitive and spiritual teacher. The overall energy right now has many hidden opportunities available to you, but the angels know it might not quite feel that way right now. Let's dive in deeper to this guidance, and I would like to ask you right now to go ahead, if you feel called to write in the comments below, I am open to the highest divine guidance. I am open to the highest divine guidance. That is going to really help you activate this guidance. And remember, you can come back as many times as you want and listen to this because we don't always get all the guidance right away. It gets downloaded into our energetic field, but sometimes we have to hear it again to see how it applies to our situations and the things that we are wanting to manifest. But that is why I will always say hindsight is one of the most powerful tools for deepening your trust and your connection with the angels and the highest divine guidance, because when we go back and we see the way we were being gently led to the best opportunities, it is so empowering. So back to that thing about the overall energy has many hidden opportunities. In fact, they're actually showing me an Easter egg hunt. These are going to be tiny little opportunities that are available to you right now with this energy that are going to add up to a huge basket of beautiful Easter eggs. And this is going to be so much fun for you if you treat this as a fun Easter egg hunt. So begin opening now to where you can get signs and symbols from your spiritual team, from your angels at the time you're hearing this message. What are the ways that you normally get those messages? And go on that Easter egg hunt for your signs and symbols. So a quick reminder here from the angels that you do have to ask for signs from the angels. We do have the law of free will. So what you want to do is stay open and aware and say, angels, please send me a loud and clear message if this is the opportunity for me, or if there is an opportunity in this situation for me. Now, this is where they'll go get you on these paths that feel like they're off the beaten path, kind of a thing. Like you're headed to knock off your normal errand list one day. You're going to go to the grocery store. You're going to go to the laundromat. You're going to go get your oil changed on your car. You've got this list of things that just knock off. And on your way there, you run into a friend who asks if you want to stop and have a cup of coffee. You go into the coffee shop. You're standing in line. You overhear another group of friends talking about an event down the road that's happening later that night. You're like, oh, that sounds interesting. I think I'll go do that. Next thing you know, you're at this event that you wouldn't have even know it existed. And that's where you meet your new soulmate, your special partner, your new best friend, or your tribe. So trust that we are being led on this really fun Easter egg hunt for all these opportunities, even though it might not quite feel like that right now. So in the most recent video I uploaded, the angels were talking a lot about this energy of feeling like your chain's getting jerked one way or the other, and that we want to make sure we've got our favorites, our heart's favorites on a list somewhere so that we can bring ourselves back into that high vibrational energy more quickly. So do you have a favorite hot tea you like to drink? Do you have a favorite place you like to go to sit and read or journal? Do you have a favorite pillow that you like to cuddle with while you're sitting and doing your spiritual practice, or favorite crystals? I know I've got all my favorite crystals here. This is Celestite. I always have all my crystals around me. But yeah, what are some things that are your heart's favorites that you can go back to? So just a quick reminder there, you can always go back and watch that video. There's usually fresh messages for you every time. I've done my own experiments with my own videos, as well as other people who are intuitives on YouTube. I'll go back and listen to a video from like 3 months ago, a year, 2 years ago, and I will find that there will be highly divine messages there, synchronicities, that using that hindsight helps me have even more aha moments, especially when you compare it to what was going on in your life at that time compared to now. So for example, if I was going to go back and look at March of last year, if I were to watch one of my videos from March of last year, then I would also go look at my emails, my calendar, the photos on my phone, and see what else was going on in my life around then, and see what messages were coming through. What were the ones I listened to? What were the ones I missed? And how could I use the opportunity of recognizing what I missed now? So again, we're back to those little hidden opportunities there, and they can be so subtle. So that's another thing the angels want me to remind you of right now, is that angels are very subtle. They will not bring things to you in a fearful way. So one of the questions I get very often is, okay, I want to deepen my connection with the angels, but I feel like I'm blocked. How do I overcome these blocks? Well, a lot of times blocks are rooted in fear. Fear that you're not able to connect, fear that you believe in the wrong thing, fear that the angels are going to say something you don't want to hear. But the angels are not going to do that because they're not going to tell you what to do. They never want us to give our power away. So if you feel like you're being told to do something, that is not an angelic energy. That is more likely your mind trying to tell you, hey, this didn't work in the past, so you should do that. So watch out for that word should. A lot of times that's a sign that it's our mind blocking us, not that we're not able to get the guidance, because this divine guidance is always available to you. Your spiritual team is always with you. You are not meant to do this alone, but it does take getting quiet and listening to that subtle, gentle guidance that's available to us. And that's why sometimes it comes in the smallest things, like repetitive numbers or a feather while you're out on your walk. Or one of my friends often sees hearts everywhere. She sees them in the shapes of rocks or in the shapes of leaves and things like that. What are the symbols you have with your guides? So getting back to the Easter egg hunt that is so fun that we are on right now with our angels as we look for these hidden opportunities, this is where it's a great opportunity to start honing your own private language with your spiritual team. So I get messages from my team in very specific ways that mean something to me, but it may mean something totally different to you. For example, if I see a hawk fly over me when I'm on a walk, usually for me, that is a sign to pay attention. What was I just thinking about? What was that? There was something there. I need to go deeper. That's me personally. Like I'll be thinking about something and the hawk is just like talking at the top of its lungs. I don't know, what is it calling or whatever is calling out. And I'm going, what? And they're going, pay attention. You just had an idea. Take it deeper. Keep going with that idea. So they're not telling you what to do. They're not telling you whether you're wrong or right. They're telling you, pay attention to what were you just thinking and how can you go deeper. Now that's me. That could also be what a hawk means for you. So I'm not taking that away from you either. It could be that the angels wanted me to suggest this to you because it is something that it means for you. But for a lot of other people, it means all kinds of different things. In fact, this would be a good opportunity to remind you that when you are learning your language and maybe you are getting sent a lot of animals, like a red cardinal or a little green lizard. A green lizard is a big one for me. Study the traits of those animals, both actual physical traits and then spiritual traits. So you can look up texts. There's several different books out there available on like learning about animal traits and what they mean in different religions and different cultures. And study all of them. See what resonates. If something is not resonating with you about it, then leave it behind. For example, a lot of the traits, some of the spiritual beliefs around snakes can be really interesting and fascinating, or they can be a little bit scary and off-putting. So this is where I want to remind you too that these messages will not come in a scary way either. So if you're saying, okay, oh my gosh, I just saw a snake and it really scared me and now I'm not sleeping, well, that probably wasn't a message from your angels. Now it could be a subconscious message that there is a hidden secret from you that you're hiding from yourself. And this could be where our higher self is like, hey, you know what? You're not really being honest with yourself. There's something else going on here. You need to go deeper with this. So think about what that is for you. But this can come in repetitive numbers. It can come in shapes. It can come in colors. I have an odd one that I don't always really understand. I'm still working with my team, but I'll share it with you. On a day where there's a lot of aggressive energy in the collective, like I might be feeling just fine. I'm having a great day, but there's a collective aggressive energy. I will see bright red cars everywhere. And I've even had it happen where like 3 times in one day, I was practically run off the road by a red car. And when I asked my team about this, they said, well, there's a lot of aggressive energy out there and it's manifesting in this bright red color to get you to be more cautious, to get you to drive more carefully, turn down the radio, focus on the road, don't get lost in thought. So it is meant to caution me. It's not meant to scare me, but there's also something else to it collectively that I'm still working on with my spiritual team. When I figure out that entirely, I will share it with you. It has to do with the astrological influences on especially Mars and Aries ruled days. If you're interested in any kind of astrology, it's okay if you're not, but they're also working with me on ways that I'm using this with the astrology and the energy in the universe. So I digress there, but the angels wanted you to hear that. Somebody needed to hear that because we're always building this language with our angels and our spiritual team. And I do love it when they come in with a new symbol for me. And sometimes when I will have the understanding of what they're trying to tell me, I'll get this heart sob. So this leads me to another question I get a lot. Why sometimes do I feel like I want to cry when I'm talking to the angels or to my spiritual team? Well, what I want you to do in those moments is see where is the feeling of wanting to cry coming from, because sometimes it could be coming from your heart chakra, which is your heart full of excitement that it's literally crying with joy, like where you cry with tears of joy and happiness. Other times it could be tears coming up from like your sacral chakra, where you're just really feeling blocked creatively. And finally, there's this understanding that you need to let your heart speak. Or it could be an actual fear where it's coming from your throat chakra. Maybe you've been afraid to speak up for yourself. You've been afraid to set a boundary. And so you're feeling all the tears and it welling up in your throat. That's when they want us to pause and go, okay, why am I feeling like this? What is this emotion coming up? And the angels will help you figure that out. So that's what I'm clarifying here is when I get that question, why do I sometimes feel like I want to cry, or do I start crying when I'm talking to the angels? Of course, that's going to be customized to you. What was your communication about? What were you asking for help with? So a lot of times I will get that joyful sob in my heart chakra when I've been avoiding facing something that the angels know is in my highest interest. So for example, maybe I've been afraid to reach out to a mentor that I really admire. And I'm like, oh, they're just going to ignore my email, or, oh, they don't have time for me. And I don't want to mess with this. I don't have time to write an email, or whatever it is, that my mind's making up excuses. And it's like, oh, and it's me doing that self-deprecating thing. I'm not being really honest. I'm not really loving myself. I'm being too hard on myself and not feeling worthy. But the moment that I say, you know what, too bad, I'm going to rise to the occasion. This is not loving to myself. I'm going to write that email. I feel this release of like, yes, keep going. Go write that email right now. And honestly, a lot of times this happens when I'm out on a walk or I'm in the shower and I can't get to my computer fast enough. Once I've had that realization, I need to send this email. I need to contact this person. And that's where it's like the tears of joy, because even my angels are rejoicing with joy. Like, yay, she gets it. Like, we've gotten through to her. Okay, so I didn't mean to go off on that story too much, but I do get a lot of those amazing questions. This is a reminder too. Please always feel like you can ask me questions in the comments below, and I will try to get to them. I often record these videos in advance so that you have plenty of time to hear the energy as it's coming to you. And I do always set that intention that these messages come to you when it's in your highest interest. So I might not get to your question at the very next video, but I do pay attention, and I love it when you comment. I love my subscribers. Thank you for letting me know you're here. Thank you for writing affirmations. Thank you for liking and sharing this video. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It really helps my channel grow. And I just love connecting with you in this way. It's my absolute honor. Okay, so going back into the guidance with this Easter egg hunt that we're on, and we're learning their symbols and we're paying attention. Remember, you got to write this down. You got to track the symbols, because our mind will often try to talk us out of, you know what, I really think that hawk was telling me something. And then 2 days later, your mind's like, it was just a coincidence. And then you totally forget what you were thinking about. So make sure you're grabbing that journal, you're writing down everything you're getting. I do have my book of evidence, Proof Your Angels Are With You, available on Amazon with my 4-part webinar. I also have a digital intuition tracker available that you can download and print as many times as you want. The links are below. Thank you for your patience there. I forget to say that sometimes, and it is something that I have a commitment to myself to share with you in case you're new and you don't know about it. But my ultimate goal here is to teach you, you are highly intuitive, you have amazing divine intuitive abilities, and you are always connected with your angels. So I just want to give you the tools to build your trust in your connection, because that's another question I get is like, how do I trust myself more? And it comes from practice. It's going to the gym every day and working out that builds the muscle. And this is an intuitive muscle we are building. It's also a trust muscle. We're building that trust in our connection with the angels. All right, so I love this amazing amazing, beautiful Easter egg colors that the angels keep showing me. They keep giving me that excitement of being on an egg hunt, or maybe you're not somebody that did Easter egg hunts growing up, but maybe you did scavenger hunts, or you just really looked forward to certain activities every year as a kid. This is the kind of thing they want us to tap into, that excitement energy, and go looking for those hidden opportunities. There's so many available to you. And again, remembering that if you're not sure if it's the right opportunity for you, you can always ask. That's that pause, ask. What does your gut say? What does your heart say? What does your higher self say? Write that down. Another thing they're wanting me to bring up too with you is the universe and your team, your spiritual team, will always make sure you have enough time to do what is in your highest interest if you take action. So if you feel like there's an opportunity for you, but you don't have all the information, it is okay to ask for more time, to sleep on it, to get more research, maybe seek out a trustworthy friend or mentor to get their advice. So this is where the angels are bringing in the idea that if somebody's saying to you, no, you have to decide now, this is an opportunity, you have to decide now, that probably isn't the Easter egg they're talking about, because they're going to want you to feel grounded and solid in your choice. They're going to want you to feel like your intuition is guiding you, not like you're being forced into. So the example of like the salesman at the auto dealership, where they say to you, if you drive this car off the lot today, I can give you this price and it expires tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And you're going, I wasn't really looking to buy a car today. I was just coming to see what I liked and what colors you had. And they're like, no, you got to drive off today. I mean, none of us like that feeling, right? Nobody likes that feeling of you got to decide now or you're going to miss out. Well, the angels want to point out that that's coming from a place of lack. So if you feel like you're going to miss out, that's still coming from a place of lack. And this is the example I like to give often is one time I was shopping with my older daughter when she was a few years ago. I guess she was around 12 or so. And she really wanted this item in a shop we were in that was going to use up all the rest of her money that she had saved up. And to me, it felt a little bit like an impulse buy. And as a mom and, somebody who likes budgets and numbers and feeling like we have structure, I encouraged her to let us finish shopping the rest of the day. If she really still wanted it, we could go back and look at it again and just, see if she still wanted it. And she agreed. I was proud of her. And we went shopping. And then a couple events happened that we didn't end up getting to go back to the shop. So we get home and she says, I really did want to go back. Now I feel like it's going to be sold to somebody else. And I said, honey, I really feel like if that's meant to be yours, it will still be there when we go back. So we'll definitely try to go back next weekend. Then I guess a couple of weeks went by. We didn't make it back up there for a couple of weeks, but we did make it back into that shop a couple of weeks later and it was not there. But I really had this feeling like if it was meant to be hers, it would be hers. So I found the shop owner and I said, there was this object up on the shelf right there. My daughter really wanted it. She hasn't stopped talking about it for 2 weeks. And she goes, oh, you know what? I have it hidden in the back of a shelf because we were moving some things around to put up some holiday decor. And so I know exactly where it is. And it turns out that ultimately the angels had helped hide the object behind some other items in the store where nobody would see it. And it was perfectly safe, waiting for us to come back and get it. And she still has that safely on her shelf. And we always talk about how that's the beauty of being in divine flow and trusting that if something is meant to be yours, it will be yours as long as you remain in touch with your heart and your intuition. And this is where we don't want our mind to step in and talk us out of things. So try to treat this energy as the opportunity to have fun, go on that Easter egg hunt, and you can't miss. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.